Hello everyone and welcome back to Bahroo Plays some Call of Duty Zombies. We're back here on the Origins map. And what we're doing here is we're going to do a little bit of a solo Easter egg. I put a thing out on Twitter saying, hey, how many of you want to see a solo Easter egg guide rather than just, a regular one? So, and a lot of you said, yes, yes, give it to me. And I've only made one Zombies video, so I decided, probably make more of them. People like it. I should probably do more. So I'm going to do more. And don't worry, I heard all of you on the last video. I will be making the Mob of the Dead, the setup video, and that will be coming. That will be coming soon. So don't worry about that. It's coming. But for this one, I kind of want to do a little bit of a solo setup. Some people are saying they have issues with putting this all together, and to give you all some tips as to how exactly to do this whole thing. So yeah, let's just kind of get into it. Oh, nice, a max ammo. So to start off with, we're gonna hit this panel twice, then we're gonna turn on Gen 1, and for a little bit of safety, I'm gonna grab a quick revive because I'm not really gonna come back to this area. I know if I need to buy a quick revive in the first few seconds and all that stuff, but whatever. Alright, so we're going to sit right here. Now, as far as digging is concerned, I'm not going to worry too much about trying to make the ice staff like we do in our setup. I'm going to do something kind of different here.
This is what happens when you get too close.
Let's open that up. Don't want to get tapped by this zombie here. But our immediate concern is going to be, one, trying to get Thor's piece out of the robots. In addition, we're going to want to get junk and start filling up the boxes to unlock 1-inch punch, which we'll be going over more of that once we get a little bit closer to the end here. Let's do some knives to you. Alright, so let's go ahead and head into tank station, and let's see, we've got our blue vinyl will be somewhere in here. It'll be either on that table, or this one. And let's grab our tablet. And we're going to hit this panel 3 more times. And then we're going to buy our MP40. We could go for the box, but I don't trust the box. It betrays me. It betrays me. Alright, so we're going to wait on just activating that, because I don't want to do it while there's a bunch of zombies walking around. Ooh, and an insta-kill is going to be very nice. So let's get as many melee kills in here as we can. And getting melee kills does actually increase your chance, or increase the rate at which you're going to find power-ups, which is why it's so often that when you knife enemies, you'll get a kaboom. There's actually a nice little, I guess, formula of how exactly power-ups work and you killing stuff and how that affects you getting power-ups. But I can make a video on that later. That's something else entirely. But, yeah, so we're just going to try and get as many points here as we can. Use that, actually, I'm just going to shoot him in the head a little bit there. So we're kind of just waiting for Thor, which, hey, there he is. And then we'll turn on, we also need to turn on Gen 2. Didn't even think about that. I should have waited for Thor, but whatever. It's on the other side there, so we're going to want to unlock these doors. And on this round, we're definitely going to be turning on the generators, both 2 and 3, since we have them both unlocked now. And then we're going to start heading over to Jug and start filling up a box. And what box we're going to be filling up will be kind of explained once we get there. So once you find the foot that you want to stand under, just shoot that little glowing part, grab the staff piece, and you're good to go. So now you want to be kind of careful here. You can do 3 shots at a knife with your MP40. To maximize your points. Just try and make sure that you don't set yourself up to where you're just going to get melee in the face. Once we have a couple left, then just try and turn on the generators and things like that. Alright. Ooh, double points. This is going to be real nice here. Just gotta try and be a little careful here. Don't want to waste. Oop. Not here. We'll just do that. Ah, we got a kaboom. Hopefully, it did end the round. It's gonna be risky, but I'm gonna just go ahead and hit the generator and hope we don't have a bad time here. I don't like being here by round 5, but we are definitely playing this a little bit riskier than I normally would. So I'm going to be careful here to try and... ooh, zombie blood. All right, well, since we have the zombie blood, we're going to go back to Gen 2 and turn that on, since I can just kind of sit around there. But we're going to want to keep one alive. Actually, rather than keeping one alive, we're kind of just want to run up to the jug box and start filling that up. And it looks like all 3 robots are currently stomping, which is what we want to have happen right now. Because every time it stomps, it's going to reset the box. And I keep talking about this box. What is this thing? Well, we'll go over that in just a second here. We want to kind of corral them up a little bit, because right now they're all super grouped up. And we don't want that. Because if we try and run through that area immediately, they will hit us in the face and it will hurt. All right, so we've got a little bit of an opening here, and we've got a whole bunch of points. So now we want to head to Juggernog, which is at Gen 4, which after you leave that area is going to be to your left. So let's go ahead and head over there and see if we can't start filling up that box. We could turn Jug on immediately, but I'd rather just get started on my kills. Well, actually, no. Let's go ahead and turn on the generator. Again, this is a little bit risky, but just try and, you know, weave your way through here. And don't do that. That's bad. That's why we have Quick Revive. Just kind of kill the Templars. This is why we probably should have started on our kills, but honestly, that's fine. As long as we don't have that happen again, we'll be okay. But now that they're actually a little bit corralled, we shouldn't have too much of an issue here. Yeah, they're all just kind of centered around that middle area, so that'll be easy to turn this power on. Now, the reason I want to do that rather than just killing them outright is because I'm trying to wait and see which robot here is actually going to do his stomping. And now that we have Juggernog, there's really no reason we should go down, period, for the rest of this run. So I'm not going to worry about buying another Quick Revive. All right, so we have Thor, who's all the way to the right there. So we don't want to... We're just going to go ahead and get started filling up this box. So how this works is we need to get kills near the box. It's about 30 kills or so. So it's going to take a handful. And we do not want to hit that nuke, because zombies that are nuked do not count towards that box. But we will still grab it for the points here in just a second. As soon as these guys waddle on forward. And, ooh, there's a double points too. Alright, so we'll grab the double, grab the nuke. Extra 800 just kind of sitting there. And now we're going to finish filling this thing up. Once we're done with that, I think we're either going to head to Stamina Up, or we're going to head to Freya and maybe buy an STG. STG has a very high critical modifier on it. It's a very good weapon to have. And beyond this point, points are kind of irrelevant. Not that big of a deal. Ooh, a max ammo. That's very nice.
Feeling generous, are we?
And there's our double points, pretty much all done. The reason I want to get Stamina Up right now is because it pretty much makes it so you can actually move through that mud. It kind of keeps you slowed down right now. Makes moving through that a bit of a chore. That's why I like to do a lot of jumping. If you're going to run through that mud, make sure you're trying to, well, kind of bunny hop. You can kind of do it. If you can find the right pace of jumping, you won't lose your momentum, because you're not considered really touching the ground there, so. But you gotta really learn that timing there with that. And there's an insta-kill. And the box is done. So now that that box is completely filled up, I think we're just gonna wait and see which robot ends up stomping here. If it's Freya, we'll go to our left. And if it's Odin, we'll just kind of sit in the middle here. And while we're over here by Jug, there's a panel on the back side. We're gonna want to hit that twice. And it looks like it's going to be Freya, so we will be buying our STG and filling up Freya's box. We'll just fill that up real good. There's a shield part here. I usually don't build shield. I'm lazy and don't end up building the shield. If you can build a shield if you want. There's a piece by Gen 2, a piece by Gen 3, and then a piece by in the trenches. So based on the foot there, it looks like that it will be in the back. So we're going to go ahead and pull out our pistol so we run a little bit faster We should be able to make it to the back church before Freya stomps. And it looks like we are, so we'll go ahead and get Freya's piece here. Now, you don't have to worry about doing a specific amount of damage. That thing will break open with any kind of bullet, so using your pistol is just fine on breaking that open. One thing to remember, don't try and use an ice staff to break open the robot's foot. It doesn't work, as I found out the hard way. It definitely does not work. And since we're over here, we might as well turn on Gen 6. Might as well go ahead and turn that on. There's only a handful of zombies left, so we won't have to worry about them kind of messing up my running around here. And that should give us a piece of the fire staff. And we're also going to go ahead and replace our... We're going to replace our Mauser with the STG. This thing is awesome. Use your MP40 as much as you can still, but the Mauser is still very good. And we're also going to grab the fire vinyl here. And we grab... Actually, we should... yeah. So the fire vinyl, it can either be right here. It'll be on top of that box right there. But it's also can be wedged right in between this tank here, which is where it ends up being. So let's pick that up. So now we're going to go ahead and ride the tank, because we have to ride the tank both ways in order to get the lightning staff pieces. So let's go ahead and jump on there and hit that. Now, if you see the zombie kind of like jumping on your tank here and you don't want to have to dodge this like super fast zombie, just jump off and follow. Just kind of jump off and follow, and then just jump right back on and wait at the end. And that's pretty much what you can do if there's only like one zombie left and you don't want to kill it. However, I only need one. Ooh, and Odin's coming. Well, Odin is my final piece for the robot, but I'm not going to worry about getting it. Odin is the easiest robot to try and get. And I don't want to make multiple rounds with this tank. You can actually get all three lightning staff pieces solo in one run as long as you have stamina. You can get all three without having to do multiple runs solo. So, and I'll show that off once we actually get it there. So, also it's good to know that Odin just stomped. So we're gonna wait and see if we get a triple robot, and we're also gonna go ahead and turn on the power to stamina up and buy that, so we can actually traverse this mud. And then we'll start filling up the stamina box, I believe. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. That seems like a good idea. Zombie blood. We don't need that. No vinyl. So it looks like the last vinyl is going to end up being right there on the wheelbarrow. Yep, there it is. All right. The black vinyl can either be there on the other side of that panel, which I don't know if we actually hit. I don't think we did. I don't believe we actually hit that panel, so we'll go back and hit that in a minute. All right. And since we're here, go ahead and hit the stamina up panel there 3 times. There's actually 2 in church that we didn't hit as well, so we'll be going back for those in just a minute. I should have hit him while I was there, but kind of escaped my mind there. Alright, so let's buy our stamina up. And it looks like Freya's stomping, so let's get to killing. We should be able to kill this. Once at round 6, I believe, you can actually that little airplane will show up, but it'll only show up on round 6 or higher. Just shoot him down and he'll drop his fire staff piece, and it drops in the same spot every time. We'll be picking it up when we open up that box.
You have to follow the steps.
So from here on out, we just kind of want to do our normal thing, just kind of run around. Now that we actually have stamina up, you can see that we can actually traverse this mud at a decent rate here. And our MP40 is kind of sadness. I mean, it still works, but it's definitely not as good as the STG. But I don't want to waste I don't want to waste ammo. I don't want to waste STG ammo. So we're going to use this as much as we can first. There we go. And you can see that STG definitely takes out the zombie a lot faster. We don't want to do too much waiting around because Odin could stomp next, and I don't want to be in that position where basically, you know, just kind of let them windmill me there. I don't want to be in the position where Odin's about to stomp and I might reset my kills. That would be very bad. So here's hoping that I can actually get these done quickly. Now that we're on round 8, the Panzer will spawn. Hopefully we can get a zombie blood to show up. And there's Odin. This almost always happens. It's like, it's Panzer time. Ooh, there's zombie blood. This is good. Hey, that makes this a lot easier.
You can't ignore me forever, Richardson.
There we go.
You know what needs to happen.
Okay, we're gonna try and finish this off, and we did. Good. That was a little bit of good RNG on our part. We were able to finish off the box before he stomped the ground, and I'm pretty sure that his foot, yeah, his foot is not open right now.
You can find them. You can get me out.
So,
Open the gateway to a guard
I believe the next step here that we're going to be doing is filling up the excavation one. Now that we have the Panzer dead, we can pretty much just go right here, no real problems. Won't have to worry about him showing his face. And that plane that we shot down there, that's where he's going to drop his piece every time. Another strategy you can use to take out the Panzer if you don't have a good weapon is try and lure him underneath the robot. What that'll end up doing, oh, double points, cool, is it will trap him underground, exposing his head, and you're free to just, you know, unload into him. And that's very convenient. Another step you can do is try and lure him in front of a tank and jump on it and run him over. Now, it doesn't keep him like that, unfortunately, but, you know, it will make it easier to take him out. In a co-op environment, it's much easier to set up a, you know, running him over the tank. Like I said, it won't kill him, but it will make it a lot easier to finish him off. So now we're just going to go ahead and fill up this box with another 30-ish kills. Running a little low on ammo, so we may have to go buy some ammo here soon. I'm playing a little risky here, getting my kills in and letting them actually hit me that many times. But we should be fine. Ooh, maximum ammo. There we go. So now we don't have to worry. Let's go ahead to the final box now, which is Freya's, and she's actually stomping right now. So that's very convenient. We won't have to worry too much. All right, so this panel right here, as you're passing by, 1, 2, 3. That is the next panel there. We still need to get Odin, but we won't worry about that for a second. Let's just fill this up. Now, in the next round, it's going to start snowing, and that is when we are going to pretty much get all of our staff stuff out of the way and dealt with. Well, actually, no. We're going to do the 1-inch punch next. I lied. I'm sorry. I'm a liar. We're going to do 1-inch punch and staff stuff. Another thing that's going to happen is that on round 10, in addition to it always snowing, it will also, one of the generators will come under attack. It will always happen. So be prepared for them to just wreak havoc somewhere. Which it looks like they're going to do generator 3, which is honestly too far away for me to really care. We'll turn the generators back on at the end of this round, so not that big a deal. So just fill up this box, and then you're going to be good to go. If you don't have all the boxes filled by this point, that's fine. Just make sure you leave at least one zombie left alive so we can finish off all of our staff stuff. All right. Another thing that you can do, which I forgot to do while I was at Stamming Up, if you have 1,000 points, which you should, buy a Claymore. You move faster when holding a Claymore than anything else. There's another zombie blood. I think we'll just go ahead and grab that. Just lets me shoot them in the face there.
Listening to me, Edward.
No, I'm not, Samantha.
You want to help me?
Alright, cool.
You don't even remember how long this has been going on.
Jesus, Samantha.
How long
Samantha, that's creepy, okay? I don't know when you became creepy.
Mythical realms.
I don't know when you became so creepy, Samantha, but I have not actually heard that line. So I'm sorry. So that's the last box filled up. We're going to go turn the generators back online. And there's another staff piece. If you watch my setup video, you'll know that the staff pieces are split up in 3 areas. There's that middle section where Odin stomps, the beginning section where Thor stomps, and then the church section where Freya stomps. That's where all of the ice pieces will be located. You cannot find 2 pieces in one of those areas.
They will try again.
At least not in the 50 times that I've made the ice staff has it ever deviated from that. So I'm going to assume I'm correct there. All right, so we got 1 zombie left. Let's do a little bit of digging here. There's our ice staff. You'll always be able to make it on round 10. You won't ever have to worry. Piles will just spawn where they need to be for creating that, so you won't have to worry too much. So we're going to turn all the generators back on because we are going to pack-a-punch our STG. The reason we're doing that is because there is a Panzer on the next round, and I don't want to deal with him at all. And a pack-a-punch STG does a lot of damage. We're also going to take a moment here to just buy Speed Cola. I mean, it's useful, so why not? You could hit the box if you have extra points, but we'll throw one roll into it. Why not? If it ends up being terrible, oh well. I'm probably not going to take it because for the sake of a guide, I don't want to be like, oh, I got a Mark II. That's okay. I got a PDW. That's pretty mediocre. I'm going to open that door for later. And now we get to do the fun part, which is getting the actually, since we're over here, let's also do the tank. So in order to get the tank pieces, you're going to need to make sure you have stamina before you do the second trip. Because in order to do what I like to call the double grab, you need to have a very fast movement speed. If you don't have it, you're not going to be able to grab both of them. You're just not fast enough. All right, so there's a zombie. We want to make sure we don't run him over, because if he dies, that's it. Round's over. Goodbye, zombie. Goodbye. All right, so in order to do the double grab, like I said, you are going to make sure that you're using stamina. You also want to kind of use a light weapon, so don't run with like a light machine gun or anything like that. If you have a Claymore, do it. If you have an STG or MP40, that's good enough. Just, not a light machine gun. And you want to stand here in the corner of the tank and be prepared to run right off that edge there. And as soon as you have that, pause, pick up the staff piece. You can't pick it up while you're sprinting. And then just hold the sprint down. Don't let go. And you'll be able to jump right back on the tank before it actually goes above that gap there. And that is how you do the double grab. And then we'll just jump off the side here. There we go. And grab our last lightning piece. So the only piece we need left now is Odin. Which I don't... Let's see if he ends up stomping. We also need to find the Max's drone. I don't know if that's around here. It's not on this side. There's 3 places it can be. It's going to be next to these signs right here. Which I don't see it over there. Am I blind? No, it's definitely not over there. All right, cool. That looks to be Thor. Yeah, that's Thor. Okay, so we're not going to worry about him. Also, we're going to do the electrical panels inside the church now. We should have done that while I was here originally, but you'll find one here behind the tank. Hit that twice. And then we're going to head up here to do a variety of things. Put your tablet inside this little well. There's going to be an electrical panel right here. Hit that once. And now we're going to grab 1-inch punch. So select your reward on that thing. And there we go. So 1-inch punch is a 1-hit melee kill all the way up until round 19. At 19, it becomes a 2-hit kill. However, hopefully by then we will have upgraded to an Iron Fist. Now, before we continue, we're going to go ahead and grab the last few pieces that we need here. So we're going to go into excavation. And we're going to grab a Max's drone piece, as well as a gramophone, and we're going to pack-a-punch our STG. Oh, well, there's a Max piece. So the last Max piece will either be right there in that corner,
The first to finish. That which
or it'll be down here by the
started so
gramophone.
long
Oop, pick up the
Carthage is
gramophone.
a myth.
Oh, and we didn't pick up the black vinyl that was in the wheelbarrow.
Yes, yes, you found it.
All right.
For the doorways to open.
So let's take that and head over here.
I heard something about another song.
And the other Max's part can be right there as well.
I think you found it.
So we're not going to bother pack-a-punching or really doing anything with our MP40. That's going to go away. So, goodbye that. Let me pick up the gramophone. Alright. So that's pretty much the only time you ever have to put it down right there. You never got to do that again. And, hey, look at that. Odin stomping. Which foot we going to go to, big boy? Looks like it's going to be the one on the left here. Okay, he shouldn't get stomped. There we go. So now we'll be able to get our last Odin piece. Pick that up. Now we just need to pick up the two last vinyls, the lightning and the wind vinyl, and then we can pretty much do all of our stuff that we need to do. Well, I take that back. We're still not done yet. We're still not ready for staff pieces just yet. I lied to you all. I'm a liar. I'm sorry. All right, so the wind vinyl can either be here on this desk,
One of the songs.
on that box right there, or just chilling on the little ledge. All right, so let's go get the lightning vinyl now, and then we'll do our 1-inch punch. And the 1-inch punch is honestly not that difficult to do. What we're going to do is actually, we're not going to stand right next to it. That's a bad idea in solo, because you're going to get yourself basically... oh, nice. Cool. We're never going to get to utilize that, but sure. You're going to get yourself trapped. You're going to get in a bad position. The 1-inch punch, unfortunately, does not have the greatest hitbox detection. It's very common for you to use it, even like on host, meleeing something directly in front of you. All right, so the lightning vinyl is not on that wagon or on there, so it's actually inside of wind tunnel. So that's something we'll have to remember, and we'll pick up here in just a minute. So we're going to stick around at Gen 4, and we're going to just round up all the zombies. And the reason we're doing that is because we're basically going to do an instant cleanse, which means that we need to do our 1-inch punch kills next to that little fountain that we put our tablet into. And that will cleanse your tablet. So now we have everything. Believe that's all the zombies. There can only be 24 zombies on the map, so once they stop running at you, you've got them all. Alright, so we're going to kind of corral them to that tablet now, and then just kind of do a quick punch, and that should cleanse most of it, if not do it instantly. It may be about 30 kills to cleanse your tablet, and then 20 for your airstrike, so we'll just go ahead and head over there. And those two tablets you see above my perks there, the one on the left is actually a free max ammo, and the one on the right, one that looks like a little square, is a free double tap, which will actually allow me to get 5 perks if I buy another one. So let's head on over to our tablet. Once they're above this little line right here, we can just start punching them. It will count. All right. So we want to make sure they're all nice and grouped up. And to be careful to not take multi-hits there. So we're actually going to come out here and round them all up again so we don't have to worry about things spawning and things trapping us. But we should be all right. We should be all right here. We've got a couple more stragglers spawning in. All right, so let's see. Is our tablet actually cleansed yet? Doesn't look like it. Oh, there we go. All right, so now our tablet is actually cleansed. So we're going to pick it up out of our fountain. You're going to hear that music there. Now what you need to do is head back to tank station. However, here's something you need to remember. You can't step on any of the deep mud. So just try and make sure that you're not touching any of that stuff. Even though there looks like a little plank right there, it will still get dirty. Things like this, though, you're perfectly fine. You just can't stand in the deep stuff, and you're good. So just kind of follow this path all the way back to tank station 2, and we'll be golden. And then once we're there, we're going to kill these zombies and get our airstrikes. Airstrikes you do not want to get rid of, so if you find monkeys in the box after you do your airstrikes, don't get rid of them. Trust me. Otherwise, you're going to have to find them again in the box, and that can take a while. You may get them on your first try, or you won't get them at all. So, yeah, something to remember there. And you'll notice I'm not running straight to tank station 2. If you run too far ahead of your zombies, they will actually spawn ahead of you, so you don't want to do that. So we're just going to take a nice, leisurely little stroll here. And now we'll go run, put your tablet back down, and start doing your kills again. Now this one doesn't take as many. And we're actually going to head out of this area, because that's actually a really bad area to try and do a train in. You can very easily get yourself killed. If a panzer attack, you're going to not like that area. So we're actually going to come over here back to generator 4 and do the same thing that we did with the first tablet. And there's the panzer attack that I told you about. You do not want to be fighting a panzer attack while trying to do your cleanse kills. However, thankfully, with our Pack-a-Punch... Whoop, that was almost bad. Don't get greedy like I did. I was trying to do some long shots on him, and I actually took out a nice bit of damage to him. Nice bit of his health there. There we go. Now he's dead. So now we're just going to go ahead and just kind of corral them all around like we did last time. And then once they're all corralled, we'll head back to the tablet and get our airstrikes. So it looks like they're all with us. So that's nice. We're going to wait for... Actually, we don't even have to wait for Odin. We can just go down here. Since we're not heading... We're not heading over there. We can just head this way. So just like last time, try not to run too far ahead of them. And this is what I mean by if you do your jumps right, you can see I'm kind of actually jumping ahead of them. If you can jump through the deep mud, if you can learn how to do those jumps, you won't have to worry too much. Even if you don't have like stamina up, you can see you can kind of traverse that deep mud pretty fast. Just got to get the timing on those jumps. So make sure they're following me in a nice, orderly fashion. Get them all grouped up. Looks like we have a couple of stragglers there. There we go. And now we're going to go ahead and finish off our airstrikes. Alright, so there's our airstrikes done. We're going to just go ahead and punch all the zombies out now. We only want to keep one alive, so... Just kill. Kill, kill, kill. Oop. My aim is going somewhere, I swear. Alright. So just kind of kill everything, and we want to leave one alive. This is where all the major steps are going to come into play, so... This should be everything done at this point. We have our 1-inch punch, we have our airstrikes, we have all of the staff pieces. Now we just need to make sure that there's only one zombie left before we do everything. Alright. Now if you do any damage to a zombie, they will despawn as soon as... Or they will actually just die as soon as you leave the area. So try not to do any kind of, you know, tap damage. Don't even look at them. If you see, just wait till you see 2 zombies before you shoot at one of them. You don't want to accidentally kill the last one. That's a mistake I see a lot of, you know, happen a lot of times. I've made them as well. Just don't shoot until you see there's at least 2 zombies, because you never know which one's going to be the last one. And we're going to go ahead and grab the last vinyl there. so now we get to do all of the ice staff, or the ice staff, the lightning staff, the wind staff, and the fire staff steps, upgrades, and all of that good stuff. We're going to go ahead and start off with the ice staff first. So let's go ahead and do that. And we already did all of our electrical panels. We did the one by Jug, the one over here, the 2 in church, the one by Stamina Up, and the one by Tank Station. So that's all done when we get to lightning staff piece. So let's go ahead and head to the ice tunnel. And you want to kind of do... You kind of want to just grab the shard and then head into the area you want to go into. Wind is the closest to the excavation site. You only need to head into the specific area to grab the actual shard. After that, you don't need to put it down in ice ever again, because this is really far and out of the way. So, but we're going to be doing fire last. And the reason that is because its step requires you to kill zombies. And it's much more efficient to just kind of do it once the other 3 get powered up. Alright. So we grab the ice shard piece, and now we're going to go back to excavation and build the ice staff. And then once we get back, we get to do this nice little puzzle, which is going to be all sorts of fun. And you all are going to love it. So let's go ahead and pick up the gramophone. Make sure you do that before you leave. Make sure you do that before you leave. And now we head... You're gonna hear a whole lot of, and now we head back to excavation. You're gonna hear that quite a bit. And you're gonna see me digging a lot as I'm passing stuff. The reason I'm doing that is because I can get a golden shovel. Not required at all. I just want the golden shovel. Because then I can maybe get a golden helmet, which makes you immune to zombie stomps. And we're not going to bother pack-a-punching our MP40 because, well, we're about to pick up the ice staff and we can only hold 1 item anyway. I could go get Mule Kick, but hey, whatever. Alright, so next what we want to do is use these levers. You'll find one here, there, and on the other side. And we want to change all of these things to blue. So let's go ahead and get the top row here.
So it begins.
And we'll get the bottom one. There we go. Then we get this one. There we go. So now that those are all done, let's go ahead and craft our ice staff here. And when you pick it up, if you already have 2 weapons equipped, you will lose whatever it was you were holding. So make sure you're holding out your unpack-a-punched MP40 and not like holding this thing out, or you'll lose it entirely. And that's just 5,000 points down the drain. So now that we have the ice staff, we're going to go ahead and head to wind now because that's closer. But we're going to head back into the crazy place. And we're going to have some fun in there. We get to do a nice, neat little puzzle. Now, these puzzles, I would recommend looking up a little bit of a guide. I will actually have a link in the description of all of the necessary things as far as, like, images of what you're going to need to do. Because basically, you need to match those symbols with the other symbols, and eventually you'll get them memorized. I have most of fire, wind, lightning all memorized. Ice, I'm a little iffy on, but yeah. So let's go ahead and head over to ice now. And if you mess this up, it's not that big a deal. You're just gonna have to redo just this. So there's our first one. 1 is gonna be just that. 3 is going to be, I believe, this one right here. Which 3 is that again? Yeah, that's the 2 there. That's the big one. And then the 2. That'll just be the L, and then the last one there. And there we go. So there we go.
We're getting closer. So much closer.
And since we're here, we'll go ahead and pick up the wind staff shard. Don't craft it because, well, you're going to have to come back here anyway to place your staff down. You can only have 1 staff at a time. I know there's a glitch to allow you to hold 2 staffs. I don't know how to do it. I don't even know if it requires multiplayer. Whatever. Anyway, We're going to leave that gramophone there for right now. So let's go ahead and head back to excavation. Actually, since we've done that puzzle now, what you're going to have to do is go to 3 specific locations and do these tombstones. You're going to hit them with ice. You'll see them freeze, and then you need to hit them with a bullet. This is why we don't pack-a-punch the Mauser, is because if we pack-a-punch the Mauser, it becomes a laser. You have to hit them with a bullet, not an explosion, not a laser. Has to be a bullet. A pack-a-punch weapon is still fine as long as it doesn't turn into a laser. And different weapons do different things. But most guns that you pack-a-punch, most bullets just turn into more bullets. So the first 2 are up there, and then the third one is all the way over here by Loki, that fallen giant. So we'll have to come over here and hit that real quick. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. And now
I don't know how, but
now we just go back to excavation, and we can go hit a tiny little blue orb, and that will be Ice Staff and its puzzles completely done. Next, we're going to do Wind Staff, and that'll be super fun. Wind Staff is a little bit easier because it does have a set puzzle every time. You don't have to like memorize, like, I don't know, 16 different panels to try and match them up, because it'll only give you 5 every time you play the game. So thankfully, you know, through trial and error, you can kind of figure them out. All right, so there's the little orb. Shoot that, and you'll need to make sure that those are all lit up nice and blue for the blue orb. So let's go ahead and head on back up. And we're going to place the Ice Staff inside the crazy place now to power up with the zombies. But we're not going to do it just yet, because we want to finish the other staffs first. All right. So we'll head back on over. Place that down. And then we'll go back to excavation. Make the Wind Staff. Come back to the crazy place. Do that puzzle. Alright, let's go ahead and hit that. So that just starts creating itself. So we'll place our Ice Staff right up there. And head back on out. Now we already picked, make sure you have the wind piece picked up before you do this next step. Alright. So now we're going to go ahead and head back into excavation, build the wind. And I hope you all have enjoyed this guide, and I hope it has been helpful. If I missed anything, be sure to leave me a comment. If you enjoy these in-depth guides on how exactly to do these things, like showing you exactly how to do them, then be sure to leave a like. Let me know, hey, this is helpful. I mean, I could just edit it to where I'm like, all right, go here, go here, go here, go here, go here, make it a 5-minute video, but I feel like that would kind of cut out all the different things that I do and how I handle certain situations. So let's go ahead and build Wind Staff now. And go ahead and pick that up. You don't have to worry about losing your pack-a-punch weapon. And since we're here, we're going to want to change all of these things into yellow.
I want to get out of here so very badly.
And this is why you're going to only want to have 1 zombie here. You don't want to have like 5 of them running around. If you're doing this in a multiplayer game, then you can just have somebody watch over the zombie, just babysit it while someone does all of these steps. There we go. Alright, so now they're all yellow. We can go do Wind's puzzle. Now it's a 2-part puzzle, 1 inside and 1 outside. Just like we did with Ice. Wind is not as hard to remember. I just try to remember it as 2, 2, 1, big one. And you'll see what I mean by that in just a second. It's the easiest way for me to kind of remember this puzzle. So let's go ahead and head back up in there. Now we're going to angle ourselves this way. So we want to change that to 2. Oh, that's the actual funnel. So you can see 2 there. 2 there. So that's 2, 2. You see, kind of see what I mean by that. And there's 1. And then finally the big one. And the big one is right there. So with that 1 time. Oh no, 2 times. Hit it. There we go. So that's what I mean by 2, 2, 1, big one. So I hope that kind of makes sense for those trying to remember that. But that's the solution to that puzzle every single time. And now leaving it, we want to go ahead and pick up that gramophone because we're going to be heading into lightning next to place our staff down and to grab our piece. So now we're going to want to make sure the zombie is not next to us for this next step, as we don't want him to just get blown away. So you want to position yourself like looking at excavation. You want to hit these orbs so that way the smoke is going towards the excavation site. There's 3 orbs that we're going to have to hit. Thankfully, we don't need to like shoot them or anything afterwards. We just need to hit them and make sure the smoke is going in the correct direction. And we're also going to pick up the Max's drone. We haven't done that yet, so while we're over here, this is kind of the last time that we really need to come over here. So you'll notice on the last side, it wasn't next to the sign, but it's over here next to the other side. So that's usually where you'll find them, and that's going to be all 3 of Max's drone. All right. So now we're going to head over to the other side here. And there's a little smoke orb that we're going to have to hit. So just kind of do a little jump here. Make sure that it's actually blowing in the correct direction. Blowing towards excavation there. And now we'll head right on for here to stamina up. And that will be where your last orb is. Pretty easy angle. Just go ahead and hit that. And there you go. And we're going to go ahead and buy claymores. And we're going to run around with our claymore. The reason that is because you run faster with the claymores. Something I should have been doing for a while now, but hey, it's just a slight little speed boost so you can get from area to area a little bit faster. Just makes it a little bit more convenient. So now we're going to go ahead and head back down and shoot the yellow orb that has now appeared. And then we'll place our staff down and do lightning next. And lightning is... Also, its puzzle is always the same every time. You're just going to have to remember which one goes where. So make sure they're all yellow. Hit the orb. And now we head on to Lightning Tunnel. And this is the most time-consuming step out of all of them. This is all step 1. These last... basically 40 minutes that we've been spending is all step 1. Well, I guess technically one of them is step 2, which is Ascend from Darkness, but yeah. So let's go ahead and head into lightning. And we'll put the gramophone down and grab the lightning piece. There we go. As you're coming in, just go ahead and hit that so that way it's building. Grab the little lightning shard. And while you're in here as well, put down your wind staff before you forget. Oh, come on. Let me put it down. There we go. Let's go ahead and head out. If you want, you can also head out through any of the portals that you've opened at this point. So I can open up wind and leave through that area, but it's whatever. And we'll be back one more time through lightning. It's not that far of a run, and I don't want to wait for it to build itself again. So now, what we need to do is make the lightning staff, and there's 2 puzzles, yet again. One inside and one outside. However, the outside puzzle is to go to each of those little panels that we already did and hit them. You need to hit each one of those panels. And if you did that... when I showed you in the video, then you shouldn't have to do anything once you do the inside puzzle. If you didn't do them, then all you're going to have to do is just go to the different areas and hit those panels. If you forgot them, there's one at spawn, you hit that twice. There's one in tank station, you hit that 3 times. There's one by Juggernog, you hit that 2 times. There's one at the excavation leading to church, you hit that 3 times. There's one in top church. You hit that once. And then there is one in bottom church. You hit that twice. And there's also one by stamina. You hit that 3 times. All right, so there we go. Now we have our lightning orbs all set up. So let's go ahead and build our lightning staff here.
I know this is great.
All right.
You're doing this.
Yes, we're finally doing this. All right. Now, once we have this step done, all the steps will just kind of fall into play. They'll just kind of just fall where they need to. So we're going to go ahead and take lightning staff, jump into the lightning puzzle, and do that one. And like I said, this one will have a set solution every single time. You can do it same time every time. So, super easy. So, here we go. We need to go ahead and hit this one. That one. Which is 10, 1, 5. Now, once we've done that one, we want to do 5, 8, 12. So we'll hit that, skip one, and now there's one more, which is going to be 6, 10, 3. So we hit that. There we go. And that is going to be the solution for the lightning puzzle.
Your bravery will soon
And as you're leaving
be
lightning, make sure to pick up that gramophone.
all your effort will soon be rewarded.
Oh, well, thank you, Samantha. All right, so that is lightning staff done. That's for the easiest if you did the panels beforehand. Like I said, if you didn't, you know where they're all at. I showed them to you and how many times you got to flip those dials. Now, worst case scenario, let's say you accidentally forgot one and you don't know which one it is. Just go to all the panels and you'll see one that's, you know, kind of sparking, shooting out little sparks all over the place. Just turn that one the appropriate amount of times until it stops sparking. And if you haven't heard the little... If you don't see the spire of light coming out of here, then that just means you've got one more panel that you need to go hit. You'll see a spire of light coming out of this area. Yeah, like right there. Once you have all the panels done. So now we just head back to wind. Actually, we're going to go ahead and head to fire next. Actually, because we need to pick up the fire piece. So we're not going to head back to wind just yet. We're going to head to fire. We're going to put our lightning staff down since we're now done with that. And since we're close, we might as well go ahead and buy quick revive, buy our double tap, just get it out of the way now. Why not? Double tap's really nice with the STG anyway, although we won't even be firing our STG for quite some time. All right, so we'll buy the quick revive. Just in case we go down. You never know what could happen. You might get stuck. And then we'll select that. And there we go, 5 perks. And the double tap is actually really nice for the staffs as well. Even though it doesn't make them shoot two shots, you will be able to actually fire the thing faster, which is really nice for the fire staff. So before you do fire staff puzzle, which is this next step, make sure you have double tap for speed and then speed cola for your reload. So like always, hit the teleporter, get that going. Grab the shard. Place your lightning staff down and head on through the portal. Now we get to make the fire staff. Now for this, we are never going to touch the lightning staff or the wind staff ever again, period. So don't touch them anymore beyond this point. And we're going to go ahead and make sure you pick up that gramophone because now we can just leave the gramophone at Wind Tunnel, which is the closest area to excavation, so that'll save you a bit of time as you're going from area to area. And then we finally get to kill more stuff. It's only been like, 20 minutes. And then the step after this, we get to actually do Fire's puzzle. Now the puzzle, same with the fire staff, there's a puzzle inside and a puzzle outside. However, the puzzle inside is to just kill stuff. So that's really easy. The puzzle outside, however, not so easy. And then after that, you won't have to worry about any more puzzles. Thank God. All right, so let's go ahead and get our red rings all set up. And then we'll craft the fire staff here. There we go. Those are all set up. So let's make our fire staff.
We're so close. My father
And
can save me.
grab the fire. There we
He
go.
promised me, when the final steps are taken, the gateway to Agartha will open.
Yeah. Whatever you say, Samantha.
There's more to do. Father said the staffs weren't powerful enough.
That's
He said
unfortunate.
the clues were in the writings of the ancients.
So once you have your fire staff, go ahead and head on back to Wind. On your way down, go ahead and craft the Max's drone. If you don't have all the parts, go find them now. Just go ahead and pick him up.
He tried and tried to
You'll be
solve
using
them.
him later. Don't use him now. You'll be using him on step 4, which we're still on step 1.
This will not be easy. The riddles drove Maxis out of his mind.
Every journey begins with a single step.
This is step 1.
This is step 1.
Yep, this is step 1. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and head over to fire section here. What we need to do is kill zombies on top of this. So make sure the zombies are past this little line here before you kill them, and you need to light these 4 kilns. Once they're all lit, you're done. You can kill them wherever.
You must understand that I had
So yeah.
no other choice.
We're going to
So
do
much of
all
our
of
work
that
has
now.
been lost in battle.
When the gateway is open, the secrets of
Now,
Agartha
once all of
will
these
be
4 are
revealed.
lit, we're going to head back outside. We're going to actually be heading to the ice portal because we need to go to the top of church and fill out another little riddle here. And if you want, you can go ahead and throw your airstrikes right down here. They kind of work like monkey bombs, and you won't have to worry about some sort of explosion hurting you or anything. But honestly, the fire staff is strong enough to kind of kill all of them. Now, the fire staff does a splash effect, so just kind of aim at the ground. Don't actually aim at them. And you'll be able to hit all 3 of them. So that's the wind staff is now completely powered up. You can see that by the red outline there. There we go. We're almost done with fire puzzle. That's unfortunate.
Survive the blast.
So I think we're actually done with this now. So that's, yep, we are
The ancients thought their riddles would
done
never be
with
solved.
fire, so we can kill them wherever.
They were so wrong.
So we're gonna try and leave 1 alive here, at least the best that we can. Let's try and get ice all situated here. We want to try and make sure ice is all powered up, and make sure to leave 1 alive. And then once we have 1 left alive, we're going to be heading on over to the church, heading out of this ice portal here. And you notice I'm just kind of shooting my ammo, don't really care. You know, if I waste it all, it's not really that big a deal. Why are there so many kabooms? Stop giving me kabooms.
With this staff complete,
All right, so all 3 staffs are now done. So we're going to go ahead and head out of here. And that should be our last zombie. Or close to it. So we've got 1 more left there. So we're going to go ahead and head out of ice. Heading into fire. Make sure Freya's not stomping. So now you're going to need to match these symbols to all of the different symbols that are down there. So looking at this, it looks like we have 11, 9, 3, and 4 is always going to be 1. So you really only need to know 3 of them. So 11, 9, 3, 4. So we'll go down here. You don't actually need to shoot them in any specific order. You just need to do them. So that's 11. There's 9. 4 will be the one with the blood spot on it. And then we hit 3. And there we go. So that's fire staff done. You'll know that you've done it correctly when there is another little beam of light in the sky. So now what we need to do is, you guessed it, head back on over there. And now we get to grab the ice staff and power up our fire one. And this is why I said you want to grab the other 3 first and do fire last, because fire requires you to kill zombies, so you might as well knock out 2 birds with 1 stone while you're doing this. And at this point, the run is pretty safe as long as you follow these steps consistently and make sure you don't waste any zombies. You'll be around, you know, round 14 to 16, somewhere around there. So let's go ahead and hit our orb. We don't need to worry about these little layers anymore, the little rings. We don't need to adjust them anymore. So yeah, assuming you did this right, you'll be somewhere around 14 to 16 at this point. And this is important because there is a step where we're going to have to use our 1-inch punch again, and that will require us to make sure that we can still one-shot the enemies. So we want to try and get all of these steps done before we hit round 19. If we don't, it's not that big a deal, but it does make the run a lot harder, especially in a solo environment. In multiplayer, it's not that bad. In solo, you're going to have a bad time. So now that that's all done, we're going to go ahead and place our fire staff down, and we're going to pick up the ice staff. So there we go. Let's go ahead and pick that up, and we're just going to kind of sit right here. We're just going to kind of sit right here and keep a little ice nova around fire until it's completed. Once it's completed, we have the next step, which is going to be Ascend from Darkness, which, hey, we've already done, so we won't have to worry about it. They're attacking the generator, and that means there's more than likely also going to be a Panzer when we leave the area. But Panzers die very, very fast to the upgraded fire staff. In fact, they die ridiculously fast to the fire staff. And then after that will be step 3, which is rain down fire. And we're pretty much just powering up the staff with kills right now until we see that we can actually pick it up. Once we can pick it up, it's done, and we can get out of here. Alright, so that, once we hear Samantha talk again, we are all done. So we're gonna just hit one more. Just go ahead and pick that up. And now we're gonna head on out of the wind. There we go. So let's go ahead and head out of wind tunnel. That's the closest of where we're gonna need to go. And we want to try and keep one alive here. So there we go. And we're also going to need to make sure that all of the generators are online. So let's go stop them from taking out all of our generators. Now the next step after this is a little terrible if you're playing as a solo player, because oh boy is it tedious. But thankfully there's a neat little trick that we can do that's going to make a very extremely tedious step a lot easier. And I'll be explaining how to do that. Now make sure you've been following these steps as I've been doing them. Do not touch the wind staff or the lightning staff, and once fire is done, don't place ice back down, just pick fire up. Just pick it up and you're fine. So we need to turn on Gen 5 because all of the generators have to be active for this next step. If they're not, it won't work. If they're not, it won't work. So the next step requires us to put all of these staves inside of the robots. Fire will go inside the bottom of excavation. Ice staff will have to be put into Freya. Thunder will have to be, or lightning will have to be put into Thor. And then wind staff will have to go into Odin. So you have to go into excavation, grab the staff, go up top, wait for the robot, put it in the robot, go back to excavation, grab the staff, come back up, wait for your robot, go back down, get the staff, come back up, wait for your robot, put it in the robot, and then you're done. However, there's a much easier and less rage-inducing way of doing that because the robots are RNG. They come in random order. So, put fire down. Grab fire again. Put fire in. Grab fire again. Put fire in. Grab fire one more time. Put fire in. And give yourself a round of applause. You just did it. You just put lightning, ice, and wind in all of their appropriate places. You didn't really, but that's how coding works. So there we go. So now go ahead and grab your ice staff and head back up. Because the next step is also called Resident Sleeper, or Rain Down Fire, whichever one you want to call it. If you are playing as solo, this next step is the make or break point of the run. If you can do this flawlessly, you're good. If you are going to fail at this, it's gonna be a bad time for you. This step can be very tricky to do solo, so don't feel bad if you don't get it on your first try. You will need to flawless this step. Basically, you have to wait for Odin. You have to get inside of Odin. As soon as you get in, you need to wait until the countdown happens. You'll need to wait until Maxis says 1. Then basically count to 1 yourself. So wait, just 1 second, then hit the button. You'll be forcefully ejected out of the robot, and you will need to run over here and throw one of your airstrikes at that little area right there. Now, if your airstrike lands outside of that tiny little circle or bounces out, it will be invalidated. And you'll hear a nice little laugh, and you won't get it done. If you take too long to do this step, then you will not break the seal. You have about 1 to 2 seconds margin of error for this step, or you will fail. So that sucks. Now, the reason I call this step Resident Sleeper is because, well, the robot that you're going to be able to jump into, oh, well, it's actually the correct one, but the robot that you jump into is randomized every time, so yeah. Alright. So let's go ahead and jump on in there. And that actually ended the round, so that's why this step can be risky. So we're going to wait for the countdown. That's what you're listening for. Now we're going to wait for it to say 1, wait a second, and then hit the button.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire control.
There we go. And assuming you do that right, as soon as you hit the button, you will hear the purge thing. So now you're going to need to get up as quickly as you can, run, get this set up, and throw. And unfortunately, we failed the throw there, but that's what happened. We were just a tiny bit off. So now, basically, we're in a bad situation here. The next round has started. There's zombies all over the place. And on top of all of that, there's a Panzer. So, we're going to need to basically get set up all over again. So in addition to that, we only have one more throw before we have to find a max ammo. Now, we do have a rune for a max ammo. So that is nice. Let's get our stamina up, because I feel extremely slow without my stamina up. And may not be able to outrun that Panzer. Now you want to try and get this step done before this round ends, because you don't want to waste too many rounds there. Let's see if it's in Odin's foot again. It's not through that one, and it is not on that one either. Alright, well, since we have to wait for Odin again, let's go ahead and head on over to Juggernog so we don't die.
He may be gone.
And I may do a little bit of editing here once we get set up again and we're just kind of waiting. Because we pretty much just have to wait at this point. to get our robot in the right spot. And I think our Panzer might be dead. I'm not sure. I don't hear him anymore. I don't hear him anymore, so he might be dead. And had I done that throw correctly, I wouldn't have had to worry about the zombies latching onto me, as they'll just be distracted by the actual horn, so. Although what I should have done is just hit my ice staff. So that's a little bit of my fault. Yeah, it looks like our Panzer friend is dead, so. Hey. Cool. Alright. So let's go ahead and just kind of head on over to Odin again and kind of wait for our robot here. How you all doing? You all doing good? Alright, cool. Alright, cool. Now, the step after this will require us to kill many, many Panzers, so you will want to make sure that you are adequately perked before you set off the next one. Although, thankfully, you'll have control over that. Now, if it's not this foot on Odin, I'm just going to go grab my perks and perk up and all that. And maybe hit this little machine. I'm hoping for a little cola there. I don't need 3 guns. Alright. Doesn't look like it's that foot. And it's not that one either. Alright, let's go get our perks. Let's go grab our perks. And yeah, I'm just gonna edit out the waiting here until we get to the foot again. So I'll see you all in a minute. Or we could fail the throw. My life. Okay, let's try this again. One more time. Or not. All right, let's try this again. Let's not screw it up this time. I hate my life.
The initial test subjects failed to survive the purge sequence, hence the addition of the velocity compensator.
All right, let's see if that was fast enough. The only way we're going to really know if that was fast enough is if we hear Samantha yelling about souls and all that good stuff. Which it was. All right.
Souls must be released from the pit.
So that is that step.
It was said no more.
That took me a few more tries than I really wanted to. I have quite a bit of practice with that, but that throw can be a bit tricky. If you don't get it just right, you're going to have a bad time. So once that is open, go ahead and throw out maxes, whatever that ends up being bound to. For me, that's 7. If you're on console, it's probably not 7.
I fear my demise.
All right, so he'll go jump inside of there. And what that is going to do, make sure you have your perks ready, it's going to summon 4 Panzers. You're going to, in total, kill 8 of them, but you're going to have 4 Panzers coming out to say hello. So prepare to fight the Horde. Now, as long as you're using an upgraded staff, this really should not be that difficult to try and deal with. And I'm trying to do my best here to not actually kill the... I don't want to actually try and kill the the zombies here, as I want to keep at least one alive, so that way the next step can be done on round... so the next step can actually be done on round 18 rather than 19. Because like I said, there's one more step that you're going to want to make sure you use your 1-inch punch for, and that will require... us to have, hopefully, a one-shot on those guys. Alright. So we should really only have just a couple more Panzers here. Shouldn't have too many left, and they do drop power-ups, so... Let's go see if we got any more. We did maximum ammo. Don't know if I'm going to get there in time. Ah, we got it. Alright, cool.
ammunition
Let's use our... There we go.
Secret of the sky. Only on Earth can he be defeated.
Alright, so that's that step done. That is step 4, unleash the horde. Now we do step 5, which is skewer the winged beast. For that, we're going to need to shoot an airplane out of the sky and then kill the zombie that lands to Earth. However, in order to even see the zombie or the plane, you need to be in zombie mode. So we're going to need to get ourselves a zombie blood. So we're going to go ahead and use our ice staff here and take out these flaming little things here. I actually can't think of the word, even though it's very simple. We'll just call the things that are on fire that give us wagons. There we go. For those who like aren't like 4 years old, flaming wagons. So we go ahead and hit the ice staff at all of those, and what that is going to do is it will spawn a blood up here. Now we go ahead and look to the sky.
They do not know I am here.
And he is going to drop. He's going to drop down to the sky there. And now we need to find him while we are in zombie blood mode. And there he is. I don't think we're going to be able to catch up to him in time. Oh, I don't know if I got him. I totally got him. I totally got him. But unfortunately, the blood ran out just in time. So we will have to end this round, unfortunately, until we can get another blood. Now, those crates, or those wagons that we used and extinguished, will respawn every single round, so we can get ourselves another zombie blood. Thankfully, we don't have to shoot him out of the sky anymore. We just have to actually find him. Now, once we grab our zombie blood, we're going to need to go counterclockwise, or rather go counterclockwise around the area, as he will go clockwise around it. There we go. And now we'll go grab ourselves our zombie blood. Now, this is going to be a little bit tricky, considering that, well, they all look the same. Our little zombie friend doesn't exactly look any different.
Zombie blood.
Out of my way. Out of my way.
As foretold by the ancients.
So let's see if we can find our friend here. That's not him. He won't go up there. He won't head up there. That looks like that might be it. Nope. Not him. Where's our little friend at? Are you kidding? He was right there. So because I iced him, he's actually slow. Good to know. So we'll have to do the next round here. I didn't think the slow effect was actually going to continue through the zombie blood. So he's perpetually slowed. So we're going to have to complete this round here, which is going to make the next one, unfortunately, a little bit harder to try and deal with. Which, I guess for the sake of a guide, is not necessarily a bad thing, because I will be able to show you how to handle the next section, assuming you make the mistakes that I have so far. And I want to, keep the mistakes in. I could show a flawless run. I have done those before. But, I want to show you how you can handle, worst case scenario, you're in round 19 plus on the 6th step, which is going to be wield a fist of iron. All right, so let's try that again. So we're going to go ahead, take out all of these flaming wagons again. And we're just going to go ahead and throw this down, so we don't have to deal with any of the zombies running into me this time, so we don't lose any time. Alright. So let's grab the zombie blood and actually run through it this time.
Max as predicted. They think I am one of them.
This is the
There he
end of
is.
the beginning.
There we go. So now we've got the Max's drone.
The Guardians of the
What we're going to need to do
must
now
feel your might.
is do the Guardians must feel our might. And in order to do that, we need to go all the way to the bottom. Now, your 1-inch punch is no longer a one-shot, so that is something to keep in mind for this step. What we need to do is, you see a little white glow around these guys, we need to punch them and get that little dust off of them. Now, we don't need to actually kill them, we just need to hit them and get that little, like, the credit for punching them one time. However, they're still going to be alive, so that's going to be a bit of an issue. So what we're going to do is actually throw a nice little beacon right there. And get as many of those tagged as we can. And we're going to throw a nice little ice. There we go. So we did get a max ammo here, so that's very nice. Now, because you don't actually have to kill them with the punch, you just need to grab that little, effect from them. Then we can just kind of like freeze them, and as they're walking up, punch them here. Another step you can do is you can kind of like tap them with your STG and then finish them off with a punch. That way you don't have to deal with them anymore. You only have to do a little bit of damage for them to go away and just die forever. And they're taking out the generators now, but honestly, that's not that big of a deal, so we're not going to worry about that too much. But if things get, too out of control here, which with a Panzer, they definitely are. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and throw a nice little beacon down, because we are going to have a Panzer coming in here. So we are going to take him out as quickly as we can. There we go. Get another ring down there. And get as many of these punches as we can. And there we go. There's our last one. So put down another ring here. Make sure you put down a ring of frost before grabbing that, because you will not be able to perform any kind of action. Alright, so thankfully we got an insta-kill here. So what we're going to do now that we have Fist of Iron, is we want to keep one zombie alive and get the last step done. I think there may only be one left. Huh. Alright, well that's convenient. Considering I threw down a nuke and there's only one left, that's really convenient actually. Alright, so we're going to want to get our little staff here and head on back to the crazy place. So we're going to go into the wind tunnel, place our ice staff down, and then we're going to go back down into excavation, get our fire staff, put that back in, and then we do the final step. Step 7, release hell. Also, make sure you pick up your Max's drone.
It's time to test this in the field.
Make sure you go ahead and pick that up. And because we got 115 headshots, we are going to go ahead and pick up our free pack-a-punched weapon, although we more than likely will not be using it because we already have our STG. Where's the ice staff? There we go. Now we just head on back through here. Now doing this on round 20 without a double tap is not recommended at all. It actually can be a little bit difficult. These guys do have quite a bit of health now, and doing this solo can be a little risky. However, there is a neat little step that you can actually do for killing the zombies. You need to kill 100 zombies while all 4 staffs are plugged in.
This area is where the robot steps.
All right. Make sure he doesn't accidentally get stepped on. We'll go grab our fire and our free pack-a-punched weapon, and we'll see what happens. We shall see what ends up happening here. And that will be pretty much the end once we actually get the 100 kills. And that'll be the Lost Little Girl achievement, and you'll have one of the best training areas for going for high rounds you will have that entire center area, but this time without the rocks falling down on you. So it's pretty much impossible to die in there once you've actually completed the Easter egg. So that's really nice. Something you can just kind of run around in, not have to do too much, you know, worrying. And you get to use the staffs as much as you want for the rest of the game. You don't have to do anything with them. And I hope you all enjoyed this guide. If you found it helpful or you liked it, you liked my commentary, what have you, be sure to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe for future videos, future zombies. I do plan on going super in-depth with the Black Ops 3, the ins, the outs, the zombies, the rounds, the power-ups, all that good stuff. I like to get a little bit technical with things, so if you enjoy that type of stuff, well then, I've got the place for you. Alright. So this area is just gonna suck. Mostly because of the falling rocks, but here we go.
So many others failed.
We need to get 100 kills. So that's gonna be 709. Since we just got one. And nukes do not count for kills, so don't grab them if you can. If you can avoid them. Now you're going to see that I picked up the ice staff. You may ask why exactly I did that, and you will see in just a moment why exactly I picked up the ice staff here. And there is a reasoning behind it. But we have to get back to the ice staff spot before I can really show that off. First, we want to get them all kind of rounded up. I'm going to go ahead and put an ice thing right there and put our staff back. And what that'll do is the souls will still count. These guys are kind of idiots, so didn't really follow me all that much. So hopefully they'll follow me a little bit better this time. Alright, so we kind of put just a little ice ring down, put the staff back. And all those souls are going to count towards the full 100 there. So that makes things a little bit easier. Another thing we can kind of do, if we want to, we can get our little airstrike out and throw that right there. Get our staff ready. Wait for them all to get grouped up. Put the staff back. And there we go. And that's pretty much what we're going to do, so that way we don't have to actually use our STG too much, because it does take quite a few shots to actually take them out here. And I wouldn't recommend using claymores that much. And there we go. It will, and solo, it will take you at least 2 rounds. You don't get 100 zombies per round this early, so yeah. Next round, though, we should be able to finish it off. Unfortunately, we do not have any more airstrikes, so we will need to be careful here. We still do have a quick revive. I also forgot to get my free pack-a-punched weapon. Just realizing that now. But hey, whatever. We may not even need it. We may not even need it. Alright, so that's a nuke drop right there. We're not going to pick that up because that is just going to be useless to us. It won't actually give us credit for any kind of kills. Alright, let's just kind of weave ourselves around here so we don't get too caught up in the zombies. Alright. Just try and keep an eye on what's following you now. We don't have too many more kills. We did kill a few accidentally without the staff actually placed down, but we are close to being done now. So just kind of hug this outer edge, and that looks like it's going to be a maximum ammo there. So we are going to want that. Yep, that is in fact a max ammo. We are going to want that, so let's go grab it. This is where having the second pack-a-punch weapon would be a good idea.
Feeling generous.
Alright. You all go stand around that. I'll just place some claymores. And there we go.
Following your footsteps.
Cool. So now that's all done. And we're basically finished at this point. Let's go ahead and clear out the rest of the zombies here. And that is everything. Now for step 8. Freedom. Go ahead. Release your Maxis drone into the sky. Maxis!
Double points.
Thank you, but please. Yo, Samantha, I'm gonna save you, but first let me grab this double points.
At last.
Alright.
Freed from a
And there we go.
Your reward awaits you, my heroes.
That is the solo Easter egg. I hope you all enjoyed the video again. If you did, be sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for future videos. I'm gonna let the cutscene play out. Hope you all had some fun like I did. And hope this helps you do the solo version. Catch you all in the next one, everybody. Later.
As the gates to Agartha opened, the 4 heroes were rewarded with riches beyond imagination. From that day forward, they knew that Samantha would keep them safe. Forever.
You're getting everything wrong. I told you before their eyes should be blue.
It's my turn, Eddie. I can do whatever I want.
But you don't even know how to play properly. Girls don't know enough about zombies.
What's the choice of it, children? Make sure the windows are locked before you come down to the basement.
We'd better do what your dad says. I didn't even get my turn.
Tomorrow, Eddie. You get to make the rules. I promise. Come on, Fluffy.
I wish the heroes in our stories were real, Sam.
I know what you mean. But we will make everything okay. My dad says he has a plan.